How does this differ between manufacturers and distributors? And, what are some of the dangers of overlooking some of those differences?
Yeah, it's interesting because for so long, channel conflict has been such a taboo term when we're talking about manufacturers. And when Tom and I are working with prospects every single day, we refer to, all right, well, what does your digital experience look like? How do your sellers engage with the different distributors or dealers that you work with? What are you exposing to them? So oftentimes this really does come down to, all right, is this going to be a semi-gated site so that way it works with new business acquisition? Is this an open site so that way anybody can find your products, they can see pricing, inventory, et cetera? And I think what we really need to flesh out is what does the experience for the existing prospect look like in their ideal world? Carlos, would you agree with that based off of the agency side?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is why we actually exist, is to help people figure out what's bespoke, what's out of the box. It's very nuanced when you talk from one organization to the other, whether they be a manufacturer, a small manufacturer, a large manufacturer, or a small distributor or a large distributor. But it breaks down, from where I sit and my experiences, it breaks down into 5 things. It's around pricing strategy, what the experience layer feels like. Availability is almost always critical. How do you manage and facilitate payments? And then there's custom workflows around all of this. Fundamentally, the danger that you're talking about, Greg, is that a lot of these platforms don't come out of the box with all of the use cases. How could they? So you're managing potential technical debt versus experience impact at every juncture. So it's really boiling it down to where can you maximize your impact by picking the right platform out of the box, given your use case, whether it be a small distributor, large distributor, small manufacturer, large manufacturer. And then we'll get into this later, also your specific industry. So it's constantly weighing it out, Greg, and then making sure that you pick the right partners who understand what you need out of the gate so you don't overinvest.
Yeah, when I think about distribution, I'm going back to Greg's original question. I even think there's other pieces of distribution, like are there value-added services that the distributor offers? So are they taking raw product from the manufacturer and cutting it up into parts? And are they doing that for specific accounts? In which case, you talked about pricing, experiences, availability, but part of that might be also product information and management of catalogs specific to the buyer that's buying those products. Because now that distributor is also part of the manufacturing arm in the fact that they're buying raw materials and they're customizing it for the end customer. So there's, even within distribution, is it a commoditized product would be another question. Because if there isn't a value-added service in the distribution, it's more than likely commoditized, in which case exposing pricing, having competitive pricing suddenly becomes more important versus if you have a specialty product that's engineered or tailored for the end customer. So again, there's just so many nuances in thinking about strategy based upon what are the products, how do they go to market, things of that nature.